Welcome to the faculty tutorial on using Poll Everywhere. Poll Everywhere is a web-based audience response system. Allows you to do quick polls, little mini quizzes at any particular point, and allows your audience to engage with that particular poll using a number of different things, but the best thing for an in-class situation is that they can use their smartphone, or actually any phone in which they can send a text message. That's probably the fastest way to do it. You also have the ability to create a link, and you can email that out. You can post it in a place like a Blackboard discussion board. And you also have the ability, if you wanted to use this in an online environment, you can send it out in a number of different ways that way, and as well as get the answers back out, or at least how the poll results ended up. So we're going to talk about a couple of different things here. One, the idea of how to use it and how easy it is to create a poll. And then we're going to talk about the sign up feature. Because if you're going to want to use this feature a number of times, you might create a poll that you want to use multiple times, multiple classes. Maybe you're going to use it every quarter because you teach the same class. Rather than reinventing the poll each time, you do have the ability to create the poll, keep it in your account, and then you can clear the results out and use that poll again. So we'll talk about that as well. So first, this particular screen, this is your home screen for polleverywhere.com. There isn't anything that you have to download to any device. I'm showing the iPad view of this on the screen, so I'm going to be using my iPad to actually walk you through this process. So the first thing that you need to do is obviously sign up. Once you sign up, every other time you go to the screen, you'll actually click on the login button. So right now I'm going to click on the sign up button. Not a lot that you have to do here. This will be really quick. They provide these free for people to use, specifically faculty, people who work in education. And one of the nice things about it is the fact that it's free. There's nothing to download. It works across platforms, so it works on the iOS system, works on the Android system, works on Windows environment, so laptops and desktops and so forth. You'll be able to do this. You're going to enter your name, email address, and a password that you want to have associated with your account, and there's some reasons to do that because you have the ability to actually get reports. You can take the results of any of these polls and they will quickly pop them into an Excel spreadsheet for you and then email them to yourself or whatever you want to do with them. So make sure you check the box I am educator, and then it'll ask you if you're a higher ed educator or if you're a K-12 educator, and then you agree to the service and sign up for that poll. Okay, once you have your login, you'll go back to that same page, polleverywhere.com, and instead of signing up, you'll log in. So I've already logged in, and this is my account here. You can see I have a number of polls already in there, and we'll kind of use some of those to show you a few things. But let's talk about creating a poll and how easy this is actually to do. All you have to do is click on the Create Poll, that red button on the top left. And then you have the ability to create your question. Now you have three different types of questions you can create. They can be an open-ended question, they can be a true and false question, and they can be a multiple choice question. Now I'm going to show you some very simplistic types of questions here just so you can see how this works. But if you think about it from a teaching and learning point of view, if you were doing some work with your students along the way, maybe you were in a lecture, you were working together in a collaborative project in small groups or something, and periodically you just wanted to kind of stop, have everybody pause and say, let's see where we're at here. So this is a great way to do some formative assessment along the way. You can be doing some lecture material, and all of a sudden, maybe 15 minutes into it, stop, have everybody pull out their phones and give them a quick quiz. So we're going to talk about how do you just build that first quiz question. So all you need to do is just type in the box. I'll just say, what is your favorite animal? And one of the things you want to make sure you do is always end it with a question mark. I'm going to say create. And so it's asking you here, it defaults to an open-ended question. You can also make it a multiple choice question, which is what I want to do. And if you click on multiple choice, you see that it defaults to true and false. All you need to do is just click behind the true, backspace over the top of it. Now you have the ability to put an answer in here in a text format. You also can attach an image. To keep it simple, we're going to just use a text item here. So let's say I say cat, right? Because what's our favorite animal? Then I'll put dog. And then I'm just going to click on add an answer to get me another box. So let's say I say cat. Whoops, I already have cat in there. Great example of just go back in and change it to horse and cow. So let's say those are the answers that I want. We just scroll down where it says if we wanted another poll question, we could pop that in right in that particular spot and keep going. But let's say this is the only one that I want. I want to keep all of my items separately. If you wanted to have 2 or 3 or 4 questions in succession, you clearly could go ahead and do that. So I've reviewed this poll. Go ahead and click it. And here's your poll. Now let's talk about a number of things. Over to the right, you have various types of essentially tools that you can use. If you click on edit, this allows you to maybe go back in, rewrite your question, change an answer if it's not correct, insert a better image if you needed to do that. But look over to the right where it says responses, up to 1 time. This is the default. That means that each mobile device that's attempting to answer this poll, they only get 1 vote. Okay? Now in a classroom situation, we're not sure that every student may have a mobile device. So if that's the case, or if you wanted to be sure, maybe you could say that each one could vote up to 2 times or 3 times or wherever. That way, if I had a phone, but one of my neighbors on my team or at my table did not have a phone, I could take the poll real quick and then hand my phone over to the person next to me, and they could take the poll and get their response noted and recorded as well. One thing to keep in mind, the free version of polleverywhere.com only allows 40 votes. You can vote as many times as you want. If you have 60 people in the class, all 60 can vote, but it only captures the first 40 votes that come in. If you have a large number or you think that that 40 is going to be an issue, my suggestion is make poll 1 for like group A and poll 1 for group B. That way that would give you 40 each time. Other things I'll show you over here is how people can respond. The default is always to text message. Web devices, so there's always, once you create an account, this pollev.com/yourname, you can actually have people who don't have the ability to text, maybe they have a computer or whatever, they can actually do this online over the web. And there's also, down at the bottom there, it says private link. You can actually create a live link and you can email this out to people or post it into a Blackboard shell, whatever you want to do. Okay, so let's go back actually at this particular point. If we made any changes, say we wanted to change that 1 automatic post to 2 or 3 or what have you, make sure you go down to the bottom and save the poll. You always have to save the poll. That's the only way that it works. Okay, so we have the poll saved. I want to show you one other thing here. If you come over and you touch I just kind of touched the white area just to the right of what is your favorite animal, just to show you that there's a couple of other drop-down buttons here. The way that it establishes the first home screen, what you're staring at right now, if I was to go ahead and text my response to this particular poll question, it actually would show up on the fly. In other words, it would be live. You may or may not want that option. It's possible you may want to hide all this so that everybody goes ahead and votes and you don't have somebody else's vote influencing the vote of those who have not yet. In order to do that, in this particular case, if you look at those three boxes that are now there, the first one is actually settings. Kind of looks like that little sprocket wheel. The bottom one I'll talk about just because this might help you if you're actually showing this in a classroom environment. The bottom one that looks like it's those 4 different arrows in various directions pointing to the corners, that's full screen. So if you wanted this to go full screen without like that information on the right hand side, that toolbar, the stop poll and all that stuff, you could hit that bottom box and it would go to full screen. The middle one there where it says show instructions, it's kind of highlighted in like a light purple color there, and it's got some hash marks. If I just press on that, that actually hides the instructions, so all you see is the question, what is your favorite poll, and then the four possible answers. So at this particular point, this is how it works. It's relatively simple. Whenever you text somebody, you are identifying the person that you want it to go to. So usually it's their cell phone number, or you may have some type of shortcut configured on your phone for each individual person, but that's the to. So where it says text a code to 37607, by the way, once you create and establish an account, that's always going to be the code for where it goes to. So on your phone, in the to box, you would just put in 37607. And then you choose which one of these would be the answer to this particular poll question. So if I said that my favorite animal was a dog, I would type in 52156. And then I hit send. Now if you look in the bottom underneath the response number for the cow, you will see that there is little words there that say total results equals 0. Once somebody records, as I just did, I posted an answer, it now says total results 1. Hopefully you can see that. But because I have nothing but the instructions, everything is hidden, you can't see that now. So in order to reveal the instructions plus the results, I just go back to that middle box there where it says show chart. And now we can see that we have one vote. The total results are 1. There's one person that's voted. 521576, dog, so that was this particular person's answer to the poll question. Now, because we have this identified as one particular answer, one particular poll submission per question, I can't go in there and add any other ones. We'd have to go, if we were the faculty, we could go back to that edit and we can change the number of times. So say I wanted to make it 3. So I can say 3, go down to save poll in the bottom left, and we now have the ability to have that one device post a poll answer more than once. Again, it defaults as 1. Now you can see that I've used the same phone. I've just chosen another answer. This time I chose cat. Total results are 2. Good to go. You have the ability here over in the right column under views. You can get a summary table. You can take a look at the response history, and you can also capture a screenshot. That's nice in case if you're teaching this, let's say online, you put the poll out there. They're not going to be able to see the answers right there unless you're doing it synchronous, if you're doing it live. If you're not doing it live, you're going to have to then do a screen capture of the results page, and then you can send that out to the students. If I look at response history, you can see there now that top choice under results options over there to the right, download spreadsheets. So if I wanted to actually make a copy of this, print it out, or send it someplace where I can store it, I can go that way. Okay, so that's all there is to it. How to use polleverywhere.com.